tell us all about how she wants to run for our next mayor. So she is going to help with the meeting.
Scripture and then a short prayer. We have His hope, so we are very bold. This is 2 Corinthians 3:12. Oh God, you created all that exists, and you sustain all through your infinite wisdom and boundless power. Yet you invite us to come to you in prayer, boldly and with the expectation that you will hear and answer us. Teach us, Lord, to take full advantage of this privilege, especially in regard to reaching others with your love. Give us a heart for those who have yet to experience the fullness of your grace, and prompt us to pray for them and for their welfare, both in this world and in eternity. Lord, bring us to the front lines of this battle. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, Miss Addison's also going to lead us in the pledge of the flag. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job. Good job. Good job. I make a motion to approve the agenda for this evening. Can I get a second?
A second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, mayor, city manager, and council reports. You want to go first, Mr. Joe?
Most of the reports from the city manager and other works room here, I believe Tracy has something for DDA and the mayor has something for the police department, so if you want to go first.
Yes, we have an update from DDA members to go vote, and pertaining predominantly or all solely to historic preservation. Is that correct?
A little bit of there's a mix in there.
Okay, great. Well, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. I come to you tonight as a member of the DDA, and I'm joined tonight by Dr. Marcia Hunter, who's here with me, Sean Adams, and Jeff Parkinson. All of them are on the DDA. So we have been working in the DDA to plan a celebration for the 140th anniversary of the city. That happened last year, but we didn't want to pass the opportunity for an event to really highlight that. And part of that was going to be a parade. So we've been planning a parade and a bunch of things around this parade. A couple of weeks ago, we started talking about dates for that event. And we finally concluded that October would be a good time to do that. As it turns out, the city has a fall festival that it does every year in October as well. And so light bulb went on, and a few of us thought, why don't we combine those two things and try and do them together. So to talk about that a little bit in historic terms, our intent would be to try and join the planning committee for the DDA in this parade that we're planning, this event, and the planning committee for the fall festival, and try and give it a theme of historical events as it relates to the city. The history of the city is very rich. It has themes such as agriculture, commerce, medicine, a number of other things that we intend to try and highlight during the course of doing this in our planning. And one of the things that's, I think, unique, and Jeff is actually the one who brought this to our committee for thought, is to do a time capsule. So we thought about doing a time capsule that we will bury on the day that we have this event, to be opened when the city turns 200. And so Dr. Hunter made what I thought was a pretty neat observation, that when somebody opens this 60 years from now, those people, we won't be here. And the people who open it are likely not born yet. So interesting spin on history as it relates to that piece all by itself. So tonight I come to you and ask for the council's concurrence for us to combine efforts as a DDA planning committee and the Fall Festival Planning Committee to do this historical themed event, which will in fact include a parade. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Brad Hill, he is our chief of police. He's going to give us an update on what's going on from the start of that department.
I don't think I need a microphone. Y'all know I'm that person, so yeah, y'all can't hear me in the back. So, as all of you know, we purchased the flower shop down here. We've been working on it. Hopefully we're a couple weeks out. Everything's looking great in there. Anybody that wants to go down there and look at it during the day, or if y'all want to wait till the ribbon cut, that's fine. Feel free to get in touch with me. I think we're a couple weeks out on it. We're excited to move down there. We've posted a city clerk or a police clerk position, and hopefully we're not too far off from posting another officer position and getting this ball rolling. We have, the packages did come in, and Council, I apologize. I was going to bring y'all one, and it was raining, and I guess it slipped my mind, and I will have y'all one at the next meeting. So we have patches in now. We're ready to start getting the uniforms done, and all documentation is in now, with the exception of citations. They're a couple weeks out. Once those citations get in, we'll be ready to roll, and so next month y'all be ready, because there'll be a lot of police stuff on the agenda. I'm almost done with the ordinances, and I'll send them to AB once I get them done for attorney approval, and then they'll come to y'all for approval. So we're getting really, really close. I'm excited about it, and I think the whole city's excited about it. I'm still out making my rounds during the day, and letting everybody know that we got police presence around here, and we're really, really close. To bring up the speed camera, I know that's not totally under the police department, but if y'all know, they got tabled by the Board of Education until next month. So hopefully I will be talking with Don Clarence, who's over the school board, and Dr. Howard again before then, and hopefully we'll know something about that next month.
Thank you, Chief Hill. Mr. Lawson, did you have anything?
No.
Dr. Stringer? Mr. Linden? Mr. Mims?
Oh, take that back.
Oh, we got something.
Every year we have cemetery annual cleanup. We want all volunteers. I think that date was March 16th of last year. But anyway, we're gonna do it again from 8 o'clock to 11. So if we have more volunteers, the quicker we get finished, and we're done. And what we do, we just collect all the dead flowers that people have just left out there and don't come back, and it just makes our cemetery look a lot better, So, last year we had probably about 10 volunteers. It didn't take us long at all.
It's March 12th.
What day is
March
this?
12th.
12.
Yeah, from 8 o'clock till 11. Lunch will not be provided. No more drinks. Just a trash bag or two.
Lost a funeral home.
No, I didn't say, did I say that? Ben, strike that from me.
Item number
Thank you.
1, thank you, for line of credit. So this one's pretty straightforward. Pre-existing line of credit that we will be removing Mr. Gary Feskerman and Mr. Shannon Sell from. And then myself and Mr. Joe Hayes, our city manager, will be going on the account instead. So it's just a name swap, that's all that is. City Hall construction, Mr. Hayes.
This has been a long process. We've been through several contractors, and we finally have a drawing and a number that we can look at. And the way we did this particular bid, we did a design build bid process. So we went in and we asked contractors to submit bids to bring us back a set of plans and a price, and then we have that price tonight. We'll look at it, decide if we want to continue from here. The next step would be a contract negotiation, and y'all give the mayor permission to sign that contract. So that's where
For
we're at.
negotiations?
Yeah.
Just negotiations.
Mr. Garland, who is with Garland and Associates, is here. He was the one that did our price. If y'all have any questions for him.
He's the contractor.
Yes,
Garland.
he's the designer and contractor. Yes, sir. This is Mr. Milton Garland and Steve Christian, his associate.
Okay. Steve Garland.
So if y'all have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for him?
Good.
Not at this moment, I don't, but, yeah.
We're ready to roll. We thought it was gonna start in October.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, about how long would it take to finalize the building of it?
Well, permitting, the plans are about 78% complete. We'd like a little bit more time on the plans to complete. One of the main things we would like to get, if y'all would go ahead and try to get a contract together as soon as we could, because steel construction and all steel is way out delivery-wise. So the sooner that we could get some kind of commitment, even if y'all would consider it, a letter of intent that would allow me to go ahead and start the process and get our engineers started on the design, and that we could order the steel. One of our companies is out 5 to 6 months on steel deliveries. So the sooner we get that in motion, which I think everybody probably knows this supply chain thing is for real. Not all items, but there's certain items in construction that it's the real deal. So any of those things that y'all would consider, if y'all, even a small letter of intent that while we're working through the contract, the documents, and getting this together, we would be glad to start the ball rolling. If that's.
Is it the plan to get all the components together before you start?
Yes, yeah.
Instead of just start and then all I got, we're waiting
Yes, and that's one of the reasons to order the building. So when we get the plans ready, there's not a gap there. Well, we got this ready, we're waiting on the building.
There's an empty building sitting there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So that would be a consideration, for y'all. But the plans, and then how quick I could get a permit, I would hope that would be pretty.
Yeah, we might get to that.
But we're probably a few weeks out of getting all the plans together. We got a civil engineer that's got to do the civil portion of it. That we already have one under part of our price. So those two things, and that's the first part we got to do is get them under contract. For us to get them under contract, where they do all the civil and the grading and the storm sewer and all of that we've got a complete package to show y'all for 4 purposes.
That's good.
Yeah. But we're ready to get started. This has been something that we've been working on, so we're prepared to get started right away.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? No? All right, line item number 3. That one's pretty straightforward too.
Yeah, this one is an agreement with the county for it's a weird word.
So while he's finding the word, it's basically just an agreement with Jackson County where if they need our assistance, then we will assist them, and then vice versa. If we need their assistance, then they're authorized to come and assist us.
It's a memorandum of understanding for extraterritorial assistance. After reviewing it.
Yes, our city attorney has reviewed it as well.
It's just, so they'll come help us or we'll help them.
Then line item number 4, the Jackson County housing contracts.
This is where we pay the county to house any inmates, prisoners that we have in the city. We have to pay them so much a day per.
$40.
$40 a day per inmate, and this makes that agreement. And that is a good thing as well.
Okay, the 1 through 4 we've done on the consent agenda.
You what?
1 through 4 we've done on the consent agenda.
Yes, 1 through 4.
Is there anything else we're liable for as a city, Ab, as far as them housing our inmates that Brad takes to do?
No, I mean, we're just paying them to provide the housing.
What if they have to be taken to the hospital or anything like
Yeah,
that?
there is language in there.
That they won't house them until.
Yeah,
then.
that we have to bear any unusual costs like that. So, I think there is some language, I don't have it in front of me, about if there are any real significant health costs in the front end. We want to look at that before we put them into their custody. So, it's just the kind of decision Chief Hill and his officers will make each time, encounter that situation.
And you can also do an OR bond, we have Judge Green, like, he's gonna be our city, or whoever the city judge is gonna be. You can always do an OR bond if it comes up to a medical claim, and bond about their own progress.
I'm just thinking out loud, what happens if they already die? When they die in jail?
Well, I mean, that still falls under the jail's care. Not
Not
necessarily
us,
the
the
city.
city.
We're not gonna have a jail here at the city, period. So
Right.
they'll go, that will be something that'll be investigated on the actual county itself. We wouldn't be liable, in other words, once they're over there, they're the county's responsibility, you're just paying the housing. They take responsibility for it.
Just to have 1 through 4 on the consent agenda.
No, we can't do it unless-
Is everybody okay with that?
All good?
Everything being moved to the consent agenda? So we'll move it on to the consent agenda.
All right, I see we have a couple of folks who have signed up to give citizen input, Ross Billingsley and Jimmy Orr. Other than Mr. Billingsley and Mr. Orr, are there any other folks that wish to address the mayor and council this evening? If so, please raise your hand. All right, then Mr. Billingsley, if you would come up first, just come up to the microphone, state your name, your address, and whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, and you'll have up to 3 minutes.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening. Ross Billingsley, resident of Houston, for Crestwell. I got 2 things I just want to kind of put bug in the ears on. Just coming here tonight, it was kind of tough to get out on 53. It always is, it's getting worse. Crestwell, Twin Lake just cut in another entrance down 53. Notice the speed limit signs are as high as 55 miles an hour before you even get to the first entrance and exit out of Twin Lakes. Now, since all that property is in the city of Houston, at least on the side going towards Winder, on the right side going to Winder, I think it would kind of behoove us to look into lowering some speed limits and also coming into town. I mean, Brazelton's got us covered on their end, but we got 45-mile-an-hour speed limits crossing the feeding seat down through there. That's way too fast coming in to the town these days. Coming down that hill on those big old trucks, it's not gonna get any better. That's just a bug in the ear. Second thing, we have an update on the new water tower. This is purely selfish. Our new development has only tankless water heaters. Tankless water heaters don't like pressure under 50. They don't do real well. So, is there an update on when it's going to come online?
Well, what I usually say at the first of these, Mr. Billingsley, is like, provide any input you want. If they've got the information here at hand and want to address it, they will. If not, we've got your name, your address, and the appropriate staff person can reach out, or if they want to do it here in the meeting. What we try to avoid the citizen input is a question and answer, because it can just kind of go from there. But
I will say
if somebody doesn't have the information here, then they'll get back with it.
Just one question.
We are moving faster than we thought it would be.
They're working on Sunday. So, all right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All right, Mr. Orr, so you want to come up and state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, and then you'll have up to 3 minutes.
I'm gonna pass out the paperwork, friend.
Jimmy Orr. I live at 198 West Jackson Road.
You said Yoba?
I have a, beg pardon?
Your last name, Yoba?
Orr, O-R-R.
Okay.
198 West Jackson Road. I have a Brazelton, Georgia, UPS mailing address, but I am in the incorporated city limits of the city of Houston. My wife says I pronounced that wrong, but that's my pronunciation and I'm sticking to it. But I have a concern, and that is, it started with the town of Brazelton, started developing what is known as Brazelton Townside, town side, I believe it is, development across the road from me. And coming down West Jackson Road, as you turn off State Route 53, once you get past the driveway into the West Jackson Elementary School, it narrows down. At my mailbox, the road width is 19 feet plus or minus 6 inches. And what has caused the problem is tractor-trailer traffic, tractor-lowboy traffic, and I forgot one other, tractor-log-trailer traffic, because all the timber they cut down off of that land, they haul that out by what's known as log trailers. They have run off the edge of the pavement right beyond our mailbox. Our mailbox has been knocked down, I know at least 7 times. That's why it's taped up with duct tape. But we got a major concern now, and that is it's created, and I think y'all may have a photo that Mr. Lawson took that shows the damage and the rut. I have a very, very bad concern about some young kid on a Suzuki motorcycle that you have to lean across the handlebars to drive, coming around that slight curve after you leave the driveway past the elementary school, and then meeting a vehicle coming from the opposite direction from the East Jefferson Street, Maddox Road intersection, and dropping his front wheel off into that rut and incurring serious bodily injury or possibly fatality. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Carswell and Mr. Lawson for coming out last Wednesday, I believe it was. And Mr. Carswell said himself that the scarring on the edge of the asphalt was not caused by a four-wheel vehicle. It was caused by a tractor-trailer, either the tractor or the trailer one, because he said that nice new pickup truck he has, if he dropped his wheel off in there, it would have torn it up. I sent all of you council members what I call a pre-council meeting brief. I do that when I address either a council meeting or a board of commissioners meeting, just to give you a head up on what's coming and save you some time at the meeting. If you don't have any questions, I have none, but it's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's a safety issue, and Mr. Attorney, I believe the city could be held liable.
Thank you, Mr. Orr.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, that's all that folks here sign up.